See the world? Everybody want to be spiritual until it's time to get spiritual. So let's get fucking spiritual right now. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. So, I'm just coming back in for another video. It's really bouncing off my last video. And just dealing with, for the further separation of, being alone. And, just dealing with certain things in that realm and some things that I know people deal with. Especially, males and also, some female as well. So what we're dealing with today, and for the most part, we're dealing with, it's good to go in this, talking about the childhood, because the childhood is pretty much where you first get programmed, and your first programmer is your mother, your guardian, whoever you live with, because you come in this knowing nothing, but your mama smack your ass if you touch the cookie jar, you feel me? So, that's how you get programmed off jump, you know what I'm saying? Somebody tell you, no, don't do this, don't do this. And over time, you begin to build that program, you know what I'm saying? Or you begin to, that programs your chakras, you know what I'm saying? That programs your chakras, and pretty much you take that program into any situation you've been in, you are in, or you go in, you know what I'm saying? So if your mama, if you feel like you ain't shit, you're going to take that into a new relationship. If you feel like you can't provide, you're going to take that into a new relationship. If you feel like everybody does you wrong, you're going to take that into a new relationship. If you feel like you need someone, you're going to take that to in a relationship. And as far as the energy of being alone or whatever, this is what this is about. This is about taking responsibility for yourself and releasing the burden of having to need someone. You feel me? Like releasing the burden of having to need someone, because it's important that you release that. Let me get a little closer for y'all so y'all can see me better. Yeah, so releasing the burden of having to need someone, and really just basic need deals with security, right? Security and balance. Let's read what the first chakra says, the root chakra. And I get this information if you go to occultlectures.com. You can go to occultlectures.com, and then it'll be in the options, I guess, or whatever, the categories. You can go to a section called basic chakra information, and once you get that information, it'll give you different descriptions on the chakras and the functions, and what a healthy chakra is, or what too much energy in your chakra is, and what too little energy in your chakra. So that's occultlectures.com. So a healthy chakra is when you're a healthy root chakra, because that's what we're talking about right now. A healthy root chakra is when you're grounded, when you're centered, when you feel like you feel a sense of belonging, like you're in the right place in the right time. You feel a healthy pride, you feel fully alive, you feel healthy, you feel able to trust, you feel independent, you feel determined, you feel trust in yourself and others. You feel secure, you feel patient, you feel constant, you feel ambitious, you feel passionate, you feel committed, you feel unlimited physical energy, you feel you can easily manifest abundance and survival. And this is a healthy root chakra. Now the root chakra is pretty much all that, but like I was saying earlier, we get programmed early on. So I wanted to talk a little bit about black males and families growing up, and this might apply to women as well, but I wanted to talk about the black male situation growing up in a household with a single mother. So if you grew up in a house, that's why you need your parents for balance. But if you grow up in the house with a mother, you know, a single mother, you know, she's going to feel some type of, you know, that balance isn't going to be there. And so that emotional state is usually passed down to the male child, because the male child feels you know, connection to his mom, and he feels like he has to provide. He feels like he has to step up in a way, right? And you know, being so young and not knowing anything about the world, but just having this energy, you know, that energy pushes out, and you go out and try to figure that out, but it doesn't play out all the way because you aren't really enlightened yet. And so therefore, you know, you program your chakra and you start feeling maybe too much energy or too little energy. So let's read what the too much energy in the root chakra is. You can feel greedy, you know, you can feel like you never had enough, you can feel egotistical, you can feel bossy, addicted to wealth, highly strung, hyperactive, sadistic, sexual energy, entirely genital, basically, addicted to self, violent, dishonest, and cunning. So that it can be programmed in that way if you have just like a little too much energy in your root chakra, you know, like it's like too much going on. And so, well, I would see this as far as the greedy part and the egotistical part, you know, you would just, you know, you would take that energy and be reckless with it, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it being balanced, you would actually rebel against it, you know. And this is what usually people have, I believe, especially males growing up as single. I feel like they have too little energy in the root chakra, and I'll get to that soon. So too little energy in the root chakra, you feel like you can't reach goals, you feel a lack of confidence, you feel unloved, you feel unlovable, you feel not grounded, you feel deficient energy, you feel lacks confidence, you feel like you lack confidence, you almost feel suicidal, you feel weak-willed, like nothing's working out for you, nothing in this moment, you know. You feel sexually inadequate, you feel little interest in sex, you know, you feel masochistic, you feel fearful, frustrated, alienated, and seeing yourself as being separate from everyone else. You know, and that's with a little energy in the root chakra. But remember what I was telling you about the all one thing, the alone thing. You're not supposed to feel separate of anything else. You're supposed to feel together. You know, you're supposed to feel oneness, because that's what we're going into. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the oneness and bringing that forth within. You know what I'm saying? From within. And usually, you know, this happens because the male feels like, oh, you know, he can't provide or whatever early on. So, you know, and you know, he carries that into other relationships. And we all understand that Hollywood programmed our chakras. They programmed us, you know, from the get-go. They programmed the black culture. You know what I'm saying? But also, this was, you know, if you look on a bigger scale, you know, this was a choice. This was a incarnation that we chose to go through. So it's you know, it's about balance and understanding the balance between those two things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just this or that. It's this and that. Everything has a bigger purpose for us to wrap our mind around. So, you know, far as that, so, you know, we can get into further deep down the line how, you know, once men, you know, and I'm speaking directly to men. I know this relates to women, you know, in some type of way, but I want to speak directly to the men today. So once men feel a sense of, you know, of not being able to bring something to the table or give, you know, the significant other, you know, I mean, your mother is something you need. You usually take that to the relationship and then pass on to the significant other. And you can be totally in a relationship and it could not work out just because of how you're programmed. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Like, you have to reprogram yourself. And, you know, so that's why you should get into these concepts, you know, this Sito, you know what I'm saying? Sito means concept. If you should get into this Sito, you should get into the Sito world, you know what I'm saying? So you can understand these concepts, you know. What I was saying was, as far as like, so you can get, and then the deeper thing is you can get wrapped up in it, right? Because you know, you don't know this is going on with you. Like, you don't know this is a deeper thing that's going on with you unless you tapped into Sito world. But if you're not tapped into Sito world or any form of, you know, spirituality or occultism, you can you'll be lost. And what usually happens is you start using things outside of you. You start needing things outside of you to validate what you want to manifest. So basically, okay, so you can have a girlfriend or whatever, or, you know, and you can be like, you can be very well skilled, right? You can be very well skilled. You can know your talent, you know what I'm saying? You can know everything about your talent, everything about who you are, you know, in your head. You can have the idea, but it'll never manifest until you clear the karmic state of attaching it to these things, right? If you attach it to something outside of you, you're using that as okay, say like you're an artist, right? And you need a bunch of people to notice you, so you can be big. Like you need a bunch of mocks to notice you so you can be big, and that isn't. And if they never do that, then you essentially give them your power because you believe them, and you believe that if they don't see it, then you don't even believe that. But this is what's subconsciously going on. If they don't see it, then it never is. And so, like I said, we're moved spiritually. We've been moved out that state. You know what I'm saying? That was always a thing that wasn't true. You know. We're dealing with resonance and vibration and rising our vibration to attract everything. Everybody know what the fucking law of attraction is. Like attracts like. So that means if you see, it's tricky. Like because you can think you be doing something, but like I said, it's deeper than just being like, you know, oh, you know, it's deeper. It's deeper than that. It's just deeper than being like, I'm a millionaire, but it's still expecting others to, or the reality to confirm that you're a millionaire. You gotta know you're a millionaire. You have to affirm it over and over again, and you have to put some type of action into it. You know what I'm saying? For real. You know, that's the knowing is the moon. Earth, I mean, the sun is the action, and the practicality is pretty much the earth principle. And you gotta have some water in there too. So, you know, you gotta have some emotion, and you gotta put this into motion. You know, it ain't gonna happen by just being like, you know, just trying to fool yourself. You know, you have to understand what's dealing with you, and if you haven't released certain things in your life, then you'll never make it to where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You have to let go of certain things, you know, then everything will be in its proper alignment. Because if you're not in your proper alignment far as, you know, letting go, then why would anything else be in its proper alignment? So, you know, you gotta find that, through the proper alignment. And really what you do, you know what I'm saying, is pull that through your heart chakra. So you would pull, I forgive myself for not knowing this. I forgive myself for being misunderstood. I forgive myself for not ever providing for my OG, you know what I'm saying? But you have to be able to tap into those things. And usually you can tap into those things because they always manifest by emotions. So whatever you're reacting and respond to when you see yourself get emotional. You know, you say, damn, why did I react like this? Why did I respond like this? You know what I'm saying? Well, you reacted and responded like this because usually if you're not aware of it, you know, you got to dig deep into that, and you have to go into that, and that's called an astral travel. People usually think astral travel deals with dreaming, and you know, but astral travel is a multi-dimensional thing. You astral travel all the time. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you got an idea in your head, and you think about that thing and you go do that thing, that's an astral travel. You know what I'm saying? So if you got an idea in your head and you say, I'm not going to smoke today, right? And you go smoke, and then after you like, damn, why did I smoke? That's a fucking astral travel. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you are traveling through a conditioning. You know what I'm saying? You're traveling through some form of thought, of a thought pattern. That's all astral traveling is, and you have emotions attached to that. So, with that being said, you know, you definitely want to be able to, you know, travel and see why you're traveling. Well, why did I do this? Well, why did I react like this? And then, like, damn, like, oh shit, I know. Like, you know, for me personally, like, you know, I grew up, you know, Section 8, you know, we didn't have our first house, and that was a Section 8 house until I was like 18, 19, you know what I'm saying, sleeping on floors, sleeping in the shelters, right? And so, yeah, I inherited, you know, a bunch of guilt, you know what I'm saying, about what I couldn't do, especially because I was talented, so what I couldn't do for my family, right? And so, but that was subconsciously, like, I didn't even know, like, I was inheriting the guilt. So just having that guilt, you know, and, you know, me carrying those emotions over time, and, you know, me seeing it playing out, like, damn, I'm always doing the wrong thing. I'm always doing this. I'm always fucking up. I'm always attract the worst situation. I always can't never make it go how I want it to go. That's attracting guilt. That's because I've been programmed to attract guilt. And so you have to understand where that stems from. And when you understand where that stems from and understand where that stems from, then you can be like, okay, I release this from me. You know what I'm saying? I understand where this comes from. And now I can move differently. And you know what I'm saying, you can move differently in many ways. You know what I'm saying? You can do things that you can do things, you can work with a bunch of things. You can do spells, you can work with certain crystals, you can work with certain you can do visualizations of, you know, just playing that moment back, you know, over. You can just meditate, but you have to build some type of emotional and mental, you have to build an emotional and mental body around this. So you have to be able to astral travel, so you can go into and you can astral travel in that body and make sure that body is strong. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that body is strong, so when that old shit come up, you can be like, look, you know what I'm saying? You can be like, look, I feel you. I feel your presence. You know what I'm saying? I respect you. And I know you just doing your job, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all about attraction. There's no bad spirits on you. There's no bad, you know what I'm saying? It's just doing its job. The law of attraction is the law of the universe. It's one of the laws of the universe of cause and effect. The law of as within, so without, you know what I'm saying? These are all the laws, so it's just like they all interconnected. So, you know, you need to be able to build you a emotional and physical and mental process. That's why spiritual practices are good, because they usually deal with emotional and mental things. You know what I'm saying? You deal with deities because they hold a certain frequencies. They're characteristics. But it's more so really about you becoming the deities more so, right? So that's why you. That's the whole plan. That's the whole thing, because these aren't these things aren't really anything but just another aspect of your own mind. So you need to find a way to, go into, this astral travel. You know what I'm saying? You just astral travel and be able to build the vehicle, which is your body, or build the house. You know what I'm saying? Let's call it a vehicle or a house. You know what I'm saying? Build the house, and rebuild your temple, and just make sure it's sufficient enough for a rainy day. You know what I'm saying? Because those feelings you are going to be tested. They are going to come back. You know what I'm saying? And whether you let them back in is up to you. And if they do come back in, just know that you're working. Just know that it's a process. It's a process of building. You can't be so hard on yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is about working through the heart chakra. You know what I'm saying? Bringing everything through the heart chakra. And the reason that we deal with the heart chakra is because that is the center point. Pretty much, you got 3 upper chakras and 3 lower chakras, and the heart chakra balances those out. So if you can pull any one through the heart chakra, you're creating balance. You're creating forgiveness for yourself. The first act of anything is just being able to be okay with self. You feel me? Being okay, able to be like, okay, I messed up. But guess what? I don't need that no more. I don't need that no more. And it's going to take some time, but I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm fine. And I'll get better, and I'll get better, and I might not be the best right now, but I'm gonna be the best. I am the best. I know I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? Then it creates a frequency for you can keep rising up. You know what I'm saying? You can keep rising up. And one thing I do recommend, if you do have someone conscious around you, just to reach out to them, because that can help you. I do consultations. You know what I'm saying? You can hit up RaisRadiance@gmail.com for consultations. I have good consultation. I give you a bunch of information that I feel like you need to to work with, wherever you at vibrationally. I can help you. You know what I'm saying? I also I got some more products coming and whatever. I don't want to spill the beans, but for real, you know what I'm saying? I got you, like it's all love, it's good to have, a spiritual partner, or somebody that is into this in a certain sense, because a lot of people, if you try to go to certain people and talk to them about it, it'll kind of throw you off if they aren't receptive, but that's another video. You know what I'm saying? But let me make sure this is all I was to talk about. Yeah, but overall, like I said, it's about releasing the burden of needing this alone energy, or this all one energy, or this separation energy, this spacious energy that I feel. You know what I'm saying? I got big crib right now, you feel me? Like big crib. Alright. So releasing the burden of needing someone to believe in you. You know what I'm saying? And you can see this going on all around right now, because who we got? We got Soulja Boy speaking out, right? Like, which is funny. We got Soulja Boy speaking out, you know what I'm saying? But he's speaking from his core, you know what I'm saying? He's speaking from his core, like he's just speaking from a very pure place, like he's not needing any of this shit, you know what I'm saying, to validate his existence, you know what I'm saying? But even a better one right now, and I commend, his response to the, Oscars, is Kevin Hart. Now, if you look at Kevin Hart and what he's going through, as far as the, the people pulling up the tweets and him addressing it, you know what I'm saying? He's saying he's not going to address it again. He's over it. You know what I'm saying? Watch the Kevin Hart, Ellen, the Ellen show, and then watch the Kevin Hart, and then after that, watch the Kevin Hart, what's the other joint? The Kevin Hart, Good Morning America. And then you'll be able to see, and sit there and see that how America has been programmed, right? Because we got these big television that's funded by billions and millions of dollars and whatever, but the talk show hosts, it's like you can feel, you can see right through them, you can listen and see that like this nigga is saying authentic shit, but they have to and you can see that at some points they actually understand what he's saying, but they can never break character because of the programming. So that's what it is. It's like the Matrix, like what I'm saying. These niggas is like programmed to be like, what I'm saying, and that programming is defeating to characters with individualism. What I'm saying? It's like that shit is over with. What I'm saying? That shit is done, bro. Like we in a new space, we in a new era, and what I'm saying, this era is about enlightenment, individualism, and being in tune with the house of God. And the house of God is just the inside of your mind. Truly, let's not even make it about the body, because the body just is the mind. All this is stemming from your awareness of your existence, right? So you exist, and you just don't exist here. You exist when you go to sleep too. So this is all stemming from your mind, and that's the true house of God. What I'm saying? The body is just a vehicle for you to experience God in. So like I said, man, it just this get on all your shit. I'm doing consultations for the low right now. What I'm saying? I feel that I got discounts for y'all. What I'm saying? So just hit my email and I'll give you the discount price for the cheap. You feel me? For the cheap, I'm telling you, bro, it's real. And also, what I'm saying, we got more shit coming. What I'm saying? You can donate on the Cash App, and the link is below. You can follow me, my individual page. What I'm saying, Kelsito, or you can follow RaisRadiance. It's more attuned to what I'm doing here. What I'm saying, with the spiritual shit. And so look, man, that was another episode. Of what I want, of everybody want to be spiritual until it's time to be spiritual. Cito world, I love y'all.